Prepare now so you can stay put by Saturday night. That is a message from city and state officials as we get ready for a winter storm that will sweep across much of Texas.
And tonight, city leaders are heeding that warning, treating the roads this evening and taking necessary precautions in hopes the power stays on. A disaster declaration has been issued for 134 Texas counties. TxDOT has 5,000 vehicles ready to go and working now, while the National Guard has been activated for rescues, food and water delivery. Warming centers are opening across the state, including a dozen in our area. Tonight, ERCOT says it is not anticipating grid issues, and CenterPoint says it is actively working to keep the power on here locally.
What are these crews doing? Well, they're really getting prepared for the type of work we're going to be seeing. So they've gone out there and inspected some of our critical infrastructure, like the substations. They're also doing enhanced vegetation, so areas where we know we have high risk, they're going out there to trim those trees. We've also set up 3 staging sites in areas that we believe are going to be needed because of the incoming weather.
We have team coverage this evening. We start with Chief Meteorologist David Paul with the latest forecast update for us. Dave?
In a nutshell, here's what we're looking at this weekend. Saturday, cold rain, dropping temperatures. No significant icing for the moment is expected on Saturday. It is after midnight, Saturday night into Sunday, that the icing occurs, and that's when you really want to be off the roads, when we'll be watching for any other impacts that the ice could bring us early Sunday morning. Let's walk through it. This is Friday night at 11 o'clock in the evening. Rain and thunderstorms pushing in overnight Friday night into early Saturday morning, 6:30 Saturday morning. It's all liquid. Could be a thunderstorm down on the coast. We go through the morning on Saturday. It's all liquid. And then it pushes east. That's the first round. Once that pushes east midday Saturday, it's going to open the door to a north wind. And that's going to bring in the second surge of cold air. And then here comes the next upper level disturbance. So now the cold air is in place. So Saturday evening, 9 p.m., although we're still above freezing in Houston, Harris County, we're beginning to drop to and below freezing. Brenham, College Station, Navasota, Beat Eyes, Huntsville, Livingston. That's where a little bit of icing begins late Saturday night. We go into the wee hours of Sunday morning, 3 a.m. Could be widespread icing across the area at that point, including possibly portions of Harris County. We'll go into Sunday around sunrise. Still rain mixing with sleet and freezing rain. Forecast calls for temps to be near freezing right in the heart of Houston. That could cause a lot of icing on bridges and overpasses going through the morning on Sunday. And then after that, that will exit, and that's the update. That should be the end of it. That's the way the models have it right now. Now, winter storm warnings across a huge chunk of the south central United States, including a big piece of Texas. This is where icing could be extremely heavy, and you don't want to go north or be driving anywhere across Texas this weekend. We're under a winter storm watch. Light to moderate icing possible Saturday and Sunday, Saturday night into Sunday, and then we'll be watching and monitoring for power issues that any accumulation on power lines and tree limbs could cause. And then it's going to get cold. This is Saturday afternoon, wind chills in the 20s in College Station, still relatively mild to the south, and the cold air comes in Sunday morning. Wind chills in the morning, 24 at Bush, feels like 18 in Conroe as the really cold air arrives. I'll show you how cold it's going to get Monday morning. That's our coldest morning with a hard freeze. And we'll take a closer look at our icing threat locally when I see you guys again in a few minutes.
We are all interested to learn more. See you soon, Dave.
CenterPoint giving an update on power concerns just moments ago. Maria Aguilera was there. Has more on what they had to say. Maria?
Yeah, that briefing wrapped up just a little while ago here at CenterPoint Energy, where company leaders tell us that this will be the first of daily briefings that they will be giving out to us and to the public as they prepare for the winter weather that is expected to be coming in this weekend. Now, we are told that crews are on standby, already staged. The Emergency Operations Center is activated and customer communications are ramping up. Now, one of the biggest concerns that they say they're facing right now is the potential impact that ice could have on the power system. Now, we are told that Houston's power supply comes from different transmission sources across the area and outside of our area. They're telling us that this is something that could prevent widespread outages. Now, take a listen.
The risk to really the ice. It accumulates on lines. It tends to pull it down. That's where you see the lines start getting on the ground. It causes the outage. So we think about potential icing north of our area. It could impact the transmission system up there. The good thing about the city, our footprint, is we don't get our transmission from just one location. We get it from the west side, the southwest. So we have multiple areas to be able to bring power into the city of Houston.
Now, something important as we head into the weekend, leaders here are urging customers to sign up for power alert services. You can sign up through them. You can also check the outage tracker, which we typically share on khou.com. And that usually has the estimated times for restoration if the power does go out. In the newest feature, they also have reporting. So if you see any hazards out on the roads, vegetation, power lines down, you can also report that as well. Again, they will be giving daily updates. We'll provide more information as it becomes available tomorrow. For now, live outside CenterPoint Energy, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
All the recommendations and plan of action from CenterPoint tonight. Maria, thank you. Judge Alina Hidalgo and others spoke about the county's plan within the last few hours.
Okay, so right now they're getting ready to activate an emergency operations center as crews work to pre-treat all those roads and bridges and roadways. That is in addition to what TxDOT and individual municipalities may be doing. At this point, Hidalgo says power outages not the main concern.
We just right now do not see a high level or high chance possibility, but that doesn't mean it won't happen, because we're always surprised in these incidents. Most of the times we're surprised. It's a disaster. You know, it's called a disaster. It's called an emergency for a reason.
Officials are urging you to stay off the roads later this weekend, if at all possible. Meanwhile, bridges and overpasses will be the primary areas of focus for county crews. And as the county prepares for the cold, officials say families should be doing the same.
Yes, many of you likely stocking up on firewood, but you also need to make sure your fireplace is safe to use. Anieli Ruiz spoke with the experts.
Suppliers are crackling with business, loading up customer after customer with wood.
If the power goes out, we won't freeze to death.
The chief operating officer of Indian Head Firewood Suppliers says he always tells his customers,
definitely want to make sure what you're burning is, nice and dry. Wouldn't just start throwing just random stuff in there to burn, especially inside your house. Outside in a fire pit, go for it.
Well, experts tell us if you're going to be using your chimney this weekend, they recommend you use dry seasoned wood.
Naturally seasoned wood is going to burn longer, it's going to burn hotter, it's going to have more of an aroma versus the stuff you get at the store. So, everything that we carry here is naturally seasoned.
But even before you light a fire, experts say you should do a quick inspection looking for cracks.
Can you see those gaps in the actual brick? Those can be fire hazards due to the fact that they're used as air pockets, so you can draw the fire.
Rico is the owner of Instant Chimney. He tells his customers not to forget one important step.
A lot of people, they try to light a fire, they have smoke coming inside the house and they don't understand why. That's because the damper is closed. So you always want to make sure you pull the handle and the damper will be open. So now the smoke can be allowed exiting through the flue.
And even if your power goes out, there are some cases where he says you shouldn't light your fireplace.
So if you have a gas burner or a log starter which is completely rusted and looks old and hasn't been used for many, many years, you don't want to light a fire.
Bottom line, when in doubt, always call an expert. Anieli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
If your home or apartment isn't warm, the city plans to open 12 warming centers this weekend for those who don't have a warm place to stay or if they lose power. This is the full list. They include the multi-service centers in Kashmir, Acres Homes in Denver Harbor. They'll be open Saturday through at least Tuesday, and you can stay on top of everything with the ever-changing forecast around the clock. Our radar, it is streaming live 24/7 on the KHU 11 Plus app. You can watch it on your phone as well or on your TV. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now and it'll take you straight to the radar.
Of course, the big